Hi everyone, Wonder Librarian here. My real name is Denielle, and welcome to Road to 88, Building the Hill Valley Time Machine. So for any of you who are new here or have not met my husband or I, my name is Denielle, like I said. My husband's name is Andrew, and it was our lifelong dream to build a time machine out of a DeLorean. So my husband Andrew has had a DeLorean for about 15 years. He bought it in Seattle when he lived out there. He meticulously maintained it. And it was always the goal to, of course, convert it and make it into a time machine because we're both huge Back to the Future fans. So sometimes life doesn't always allow that to happen right away. So it kind of took a perfect storm of, the parts being more available, us having some really good help, being plugged into a really great time machine building community for that to all happen. We also had some life things that sort of ushered this in. One being that Andrew's dad got cancer in 2024, and it was lung cancer and IPF, which was kind of a brutal combination for him. And Andrew's dad was actually the person that introduced him to the time machine and to Back to the Future in general. And so there was a close association with all of that. So we kind of thought to ourselves, you know what, life is short. He would have loved this to come to fruition. So that's around the time when we did really start to get serious about making the car into a time machine. Like I said, all the external factors like the parts and everything, it all sort of just lined right up. And then we decided instead of having someone just do all the work for us, we were going to take a lot of help, obviously, because we didn't really know what we were doing at first a lot. But we thought we were handy enough and knowledgeable enough to be able to take this on. So we did do the majority of the building work by ourselves and a lot of programming and automation and really cool stuff. Andrew is amazing at all those things. So he once upon a time worked on the sound effects for the A-car DeLorean that's now at the Petersen. So the last screen used one, I'll just show a screenshot of it right here. So that's pretty amazing. So he did come with a set of skills already going into this. And a lot of it we really had to learn and pick up along the way. So I am filming this sort of after we've mostly finished the car. We just did a photo shoot this week for it. We've got our website coming up, so that information is all going to be in the description below to find all of our stuff. Hill Valley Time Machine on all social media, I'll put that. But I can honestly say this has been a true labor of love, and we're really, really proud of how everything turned out. So in this video, past Denielle is going to introduce it. I think I filmed that original intro in July 2025 thinking, you know what, we're going to finish this fairly soon. It's time to get an intro and get the whole video going, but sometimes time machines aren't exactly the easiest things to put together. So I do a pretty good explanation about everything there. In the video, you'll also see a lot of changes. So obviously technology, my camera changes, the audio changes, my fashion, the car obviously morphs a lot. So it's going to be a real journey over the last year and a half of us building it. We had some highs that we'll talk about, like going to FanFest, an amazing Back to the Future event back in April 2025 and May 2025. All the 40th anniversary Back to the Future stuff that we did in around October of the same year. We also had some lows, and like I said, we did lose Andrew's dad in April 2025, so that was a really awful time. And we did lose our good friend Adam the Woo, who was someone that we loved sharing our love of Back to the Future with. He rode in our DeLorean a ton of times. Here's a little screenshot right here. So obviously we miss him very much, but for the two of them, we're really glad that we took this project to fruition. I think they both would have been very happy to see it. But yeah, that's just life. And, there's highs and lows, but Time Machine, definitely a high. So without further ado, here's past Denielle telling you a little bit more about the time machine, and enjoy the video. Hi there, it's Wonder Librarian here. My real name is Denielle, and as many of you know, if you've been following my content for any length of time, I'm a huge Back to the Future fan. We had our wedding was Back to the Future themed, done lots of filming locations. FanFest recently in April and May 2025, which is amazing, on Courthouse Square. Cooking recipes from the Back to the Future cookbook, you name it. So the latest project that I want to introduce right now is, so my husband Andrew has had a DeLorean for about 14, almost 15 years now. And the intention was always to convert it into a time machine. So he did start about 2017 maybe, when some parts became available. So he got, the Flux capacitor, the time circuits, the plutonium there as a set. So there was a few little pieces of electronics available at the time from somebody in France, I believe. But, you know, fast forward to now, 2025, so there's now lots of parts available. People build them. And just as a note, I will be attaching a list of where you can find a lot of these parts these days to the description of this video, so go ahead and check that out if you're interested. Those things do change all the time, so I'm going to do my best to keep it updated, but just talking about us specifically, these are the parts we used that we found from, you know, just doing a lot of research. We have lots of really helpful people in the communities. So thanks so much to everyone that gave us information or got us a lead and whatnot. All the parts that we used are going to be in this document that I'm attaching in the description, so enjoy that. Anyway, I digress. So what I've been doing is, as we've been working on it, so January 2025 is when we started. I'm filming this part in July 2025, so we're about 7 months after we kind of restarted the conversion. You know, lots of stuff happened, life, whatever. Fast forward, we're here. So big thanks to Bruce Coulomb, who is in Oviedo. He does time machine conversions and also kit cars from Knight Rider. He's been a big help in guiding us with a lot of his techniques, letting us use his shop and things like that. So it's been really nice to have his help because he's been doing this for such a long time and has a lot of great expertise. So thank you so much to him. So without further ado, I do have a bunch of footage of the entire conversion. Not so much the, you know, every single thing that we did and like a how-to video, but just kind of like the progress of, you know, when we installed certain things and kind of a little bit of the progression and maybe a little bit of facts here and there about time machines and a little bit of advice. So if you are a DeLorean owner looking to do a conversion or just a Back to the Future fan that kind of wants to know how a car comes together, this video might be for you. So go ahead, enjoy it. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to try and answer them for you. And here's our time machine conversion. Hey there, it's January 3rd, 2025. It's Andrew and I. We're on day 2 of our time machine build here. So just want to document some of the progress. So yesterday we pulled down the overhead array that was up here, rewired that a little bit, got that all sorted out, and then this whole center console came off. So just want to show what it actually looks like underneath here. There's all kinds of crazy wires and stuff. Put some wood blocks in here with some help. We got a machine part right here to mount the TFC drive switch and the electroseal that goes back here. So I'll show you all that when it's done. So hi everyone, so I'd like to introduce you to my lovely husband Andrew. He is always behind the camera. Luckily, he's been very patient to record all of those update videos that we've been doing throughout this whole thing, but he really is the heart and soul behind this build. I've really just been helping him out a lot, but here he is to talk about why did we start to do this project in 2025? What made us want to do the time machine in general?
I bought this car about 16 years ago, and I used it as my daily driver pretty much all the time when I lived in Seattle. And I had always planned to turn it into the time machine, just kept getting deprioritized. Other things got more important. Things got expensive. The car itself gets expensive from just maintaining it and taking care of it. So my dad introduced me to Back to the Future when I was a kid, and I didn't understand a lot about the movie. I didn't understand a lot of the jokes. I was very young at the time when it came out. But when I saw that car come off of the truck, I said, that's what I want. I wanted that, and I've kind of wanted it my entire life. So my dad passed away last year. He, without smoking, and he took really good care of himself, never smoked a day in his life, ended up with lung cancer and idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis that took his life about a year later. So he never really got to see the completion of this thing, but he knew that I was going to do it. So life is short, and it's important that you chase your dreams and get them done, and don't let other people get in your way. So that's why.
Thanks, sweetheart. Yeah, I definitely feel his spirit in here all the time, and we definitely did it for him. That's for sure. And it was a lifelong dream for both of us, really. So now that we've completed this whole build, it's been about a year and a half. Some things were great, some things were not as great, but do you want to tell me about your most favorite things to do with the car and your least favorite things to do with the car?
I have had a really fun time building the Arduino kit for this car that does all of the sound effects on it, and all the different events and stuff, and all the lighting. That was really a challenge for me, and I pushed myself a little bit because I didn't know Arduino when I started this project. I wasn't fluent in any of the programming or anything like that. I didn't really know that much about electronics. I had built a 3D printed ghost trap for her and for myself years ago, and some of those skill sets are similar. So we got to do that, and that was a great part. I'd say the two worst things for this particular build are the Flux bands. They are absolutely as bad as everybody tells you that they are. It takes a flippin' village to make these things. I have so many people to thank. To thank, Bruce and Peter and Brett and Ken Kapolowski, Gary and Samantha Frank.
The list goes on.
The list goes on. I have so many people. We'll credit everybody later, but that was an ordeal because the Flux bands, you have to use a hydraulic pipe bender, and you have to have all of the angles pre-measured. If you mess it up, you can't do it over with the same pipes. You have to completely start over. So that's no risk, no reward, I guess. But and then once those are done, you have to weld them together to make sure that they fit on the car. You have to make sure all of the rubber brackets are in the right place on the inside the. I've got the right hardware and all of that stuff to make sure that it stays on the car. Then you have to come up with mesh that goes along the outside, put the clamps on, have a diffuser in there, and then also figure out how you're going to light it. End to end, Flux bands took us probably on and off working on them, probably about 4 or 5 months to get them done correctly. And I had, like I said, I had expert help with this, and I'm so grateful to everybody for helping out.
Yes, and I remember that journey also. I'm going to add my own least favorite, which is the Flux boxes, putting some of the wiring in there and getting the little secure nut onto it. I had to bend my hand in really weird positions, and it came out all mangled, but I'm so glad that they look so nice. And I'd say that my most favorite part was all of it with you, because I loved it. I loved the journey. So that's what I'm going to say. But yeah, so I just want to talk a little bit about, so most people don't know all this story, but a lot of people do. Our first date was actually seeing the A-car DeLorean at the Petersen Museum, which you had a little hand in working on. And we went there for our first date, and we took a lot of reference photos for the build of the car. So you want to talk a little bit about your involvement with that project?
Sure. So I happened to just be in the right place at the right time. I had dabbled with sound effects since I was a kid. I had a Fisher-Price tape recorder. That's how old I am. Where I would splice sections of the movie together with the car and then go ride my bike and pretend like I was driving the car as a kid. So it's something that I had done for a long time. I had met Joe Walser at Penny Arcade Expo. He was there with his beautiful replica that he calls Betty, and that was there to promote the video game. And I just happened to run into him, and I said, "Hey, I don't know if you guys need any help with sound effects or anything like that, but I do sound effect editing as a hobby." And he said, "Okay, send me a reel." So I gave him a demo, and that was it. But the reason you don't hear any of the sound effects in the A-car is we did months and months of work, and we were so down to every little detail with each sound effect that we had a library of everything that we could use and pull on command to go in all the electronics and do everything. But Universal said, "No, I want to run my Universal video instead and have a silent display." So in the 11th hour, and true Hollywood fashion, it was our work was pulled out. But I didn't take it personally, because it's not a personal thing. It's Universal's car, so they can do what they want with it. And I still got to go to the screening of the documentary. If you haven't seen it, it's called Out of Time, Saving the DeLorean Time Machine by Steve Concatelli, the very talented Steve Concatelli. Great documentary. I'm in it for, I think, about 3 seconds. But it's wonderful. It tells about the struggles with the A-car and the stuff the guys went through, which was way harder than the stuff that I had to do. So, but then again, here we are, and I've done it to my own car finally.
Yeah, team of two, and many more helpers. But yeah, and special thanks to the Petersen also for being so awesome. We had to get special permission to take very intricate pictures of the car back in October 2025. So thanks to that whole team for letting us be nerds and poke around in the DeLorean Time Machine at the Petersens. So I just want to close it, hun, and ask you this one final question, and that would be that if you were to give any advice to any prospective time machine builder in the year 2025 and beyond, what would you say to them?
Definitely do it. Take your time. Don't rush. Use our Facebook group, the DeLorean Time Machine Builders. Consult the experts inside of there who have. I am not the first, and I'm definitely not the last. We took our time with this build. It took us about 1.5 years working on just Sundays, with some breaks in between to build it. Go to Jean-Marie for his parts if you want movieprops.blog to pick up a lot of parts over there. A lot of the electronics are available, circuit setup, or go to Movie Propelec, who I went to. Feeds provides this excellent Flux capacitor board. Huge thanks to Bruce Coulomb, who worked with us for ages, is what it felt like, and entertained every weird idea I had about this thing. Peter Verica and Brett Aiken, who have built a lot of time machines themselves as well. I really appreciate all of the insight that I got from the group. There's too many people to thank here. I am so grateful for everybody, and also grateful to Joe Walser and Terry Metalis for pulling me in to work on the 8 car, because without that, I probably wouldn't be able to have done this. So my best advice is do the dream, chase it, and make it happen, because this is a full-time project. It's going to take way more effort and time and money than you think that it can. But if you learn how to do it yourself, it's way more rewarding than it is to just farm it out. So it's been a really fun experience. I've picked up a lot of new skills, and you'll be able to apply them elsewhere. So definitely make sure that if this is a dream of yours, that you follow it through, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
That is so lovely. And I would definitely partner with Andrew in saying that you should just go after your dreams fully. I love him, and we went after our dream of being together, and we decided to pursue this lifelong dream of building the car. And life is short, and just do those things that you want to do, whether it's something like this, or build yourself an ecto, or go to that Back to the Future event, whatever it is. There's definitely going to be a lot of footage of us attending a lot of Back to the Future events in this video, so I'd highly encourage you to do all that, and surround yourself with the people that you love to do it, because it just makes it that much more rewarding, and you really will feel like you accomplished a huge thing, because if this was easy, everyone would do it, honestly. So I'll leave you with that, and enjoy the rest of the video, and we'll see you in the future. So in terms of my own personal Back to the Future journey, so I remember seeing it when I was probably about 7. My dad used to tape movies on VHS, and Back to the Future just happened to be one of them. So I instantly loved it, and I remember bringing that tape around to all kinds of sleepovers, showing it to whoever I could find in the neighborhood, just hoping that someone was going to love it as much as me. No dice on that, but I loved it so much, and eventually as an adult found a lot of great people that loved it the same way, which is amazing because we do all kinds of events together. I'm very lucky to have the love of my life, Andrew, who you just saw. He's my partner in crime on a lot of this stuff, so partner in time, I guess. Oh, that's fun. Anyways, so to do this journey together was really amazing, because I remember as a kid, obviously, I saw that car just like Andrew did, and I wanted to have my own time machine. So I remember literally a toy box that I could sit in that had wheels on it, and then on the inside of it, it was like wood in there, and then I drew on my own time circuits, and then I would just sit in this toy box and pretend to enter times and stuff. So that was probably, man, what was I, 8 or something when I did that? So long time ago. So I'm obviously really happy to be involved in this now and doing all this fun Back to the Future stuff. So we're back for an update on what we got done on the car today. So we've mounted all of the parts that we'd taken out earlier. So the main thing was this console has gone back in. There's a new plate here, which we mounted the drive switch on, and then it's got a USB here for power. Pretty cool. This is brand new. It's now secured down. time circuits are back on, and we got the plutonium chamber back on here. And then this new little part is attached to the glove box, so that's just a little time machine gadget there. Not quite sure what it's called, but oh, and also this overhead array. This is put up here, so we fixed some of the wires, got it all buttoned up so it doesn't fall down, and we're making good progress, so we'll see you in the next one. So just a note on the overhead array here, so this is a replacement one that we have. So we originally had one that had just stable lights here, so now there are buttons and you can actually push them, which is kind of neat. They don't really do anything, but it's just really fun. So you can see here a little bit the buttons: primary pump, heat exchange, steam generation. So this would have been like what Doc would have put on to all of his buttons. And then back here, there is a few switches and they turn off different banks in the lighting groups here. Yeah, so just as so some fun tactile stuff to just kind of play around in the car, but that is the overhead array. So here we are on day 3 of working on the car. We did a little bit less today, about 2-3 hours worth, so we did get this done. This is a steering wheel insert here. All the switches turn on, which is pretty cool. Let's do the green one while I'm at it. And I'll turn it on. We also got this radio done. So this was inserted on here. It's bolted down. We had to do the heatsink at the top here with all the wiring. So these are all soldered on. So looks pretty good. Good progress here. We had to move this over a little bit. So that's day 3. Radio, heatsink, and steering wheel. So just a funny story for a second. So this radio was actually stumping a lot of people for a long time. So the community was trying to figure out, what kind of radio it was, try to track it down. The closest I've ever heard for a discovery was something called a Kraco or Kraco radio. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing it right, but this one is actually a really well done replica. So if you do screenshot the movie, you can see, it says auto stop, stereo cassette receiver, tuning balance, right? So it's about as close as it could possibly be. Really good looking radio, but yeah, these are always really hard to find. Probably one of the most fun things about the car is the time circuits. A lot of people really love that they get to turn this on. So when we take it to shows and whatnot, we usually do a bit of a demo. So I'll just show how it works right here. And this is from an awesome company in France called Movie Propelec, which made it. So that's where I got it. So you go ahead and turn it on. And it's got the really awesome sound effects, and it goes along with the plutonium chamber over there, which the needle moves. It's really interactive, really great. So here's all of the stuff here. So this is the destination time, this is the present time, and last time departed. So you can change any of these 3. This is the present time right now that it's measuring. And so what I'm going to do is just put my birthday in here, just as an example. So there's the keypad. And I am dating myself, but whatever, I'm an 80s kid and I'm proud of it. So I'm going to put the month, so 04 for April, the day, 20 for April 20, and then the year, so 1982. And then I have to enter the time, so I'm going to do 8 o'clock in the morning, because that's when I think I was born, according to my mom, so 0800. Okay, and then this little button down here is the enter button, so that's going to turn. There you go. So now you can see that it says April 20, 1982, 8, and this is AM. So that's basically how the time circuits work. So that's a really great showpiece to have at events and stuff, and makes all the right sounds and looks awesome. Okay, so just a quick DeLorean update video. So we have done some work lately. So as you can see, everything is powered on here, the time circuits and whatnot. We did have to do a temporary power install here to a Talon cell battery, which involved taking everything apart and rewiring it. So that was the thing. The biggest thing though is all these wires that are now here. So we had to basically purchase all these, cut them to the right lengths, get the right colors, crimp them, put them into these little spades, and then it goes into this terminal here. And as you can see, it's all wired down this way. They're all wire tied. And we did some on that side too. So this is going to be an ongoing thing. Just a little wire update for you. So one of the more complicated parts, surprisingly, about this car is just the sheer amount of wiring that has to get done. So see all of them, they all connect into those spades. They all have to be crimped and whatnot, stripped, counted, right? So there's all these wires. They go all down to the bottom of the car. And yeah, there's just so many wires in here. So I'm going to drop a video that was really helpful to us, just explaining some of how you go ahead and structure this. The kinds of wires you need to buy and the lengths and whatnot. It was super helpful, so just check out the description for that one. So I just want to take a quick break right here in the build and talk about FanFest, which was occurring in April 2025, May 2025. Andrew and I went 13 nights, And if you want to know why, it's because this was by far the most incredible Back to the Future event that we have ever attended, and we have attended a lot. So essentially what it was Universal Hollywood was doing a nighttime event. It was about a 7-hour stretch, and they had all kinds of properties, but as huge Back to the Future fans, naturally that was the main thing that we cared about. And it occurred on Courthouse Square, where they actually filmed the movie, so you could essentially take the tram down there with a themed video, time travel to 1955 from the first movie, and then be on set or be part of the movie in 45-minute increments. And they had 2 sets of actors, and you would essentially get to watch key scenes of the movie in key areas and sometimes participate in it. Like you could help Lorraine with her crush on Marty, or you could pass a note from George, or you could get Marty to meet Doc, and all of these kind of things. They had the Enchantment of the Sea Dance set up. They had Biff's car. They had an Einstein photo shoot. They had a carnival set up down there. It was incredible, and all of the actors were astounding. So good. We've actually befriended a few of them since then. So that's how good it was. But anyways, they also had themed food. So they had like Doc Brown's pot pie. They had a Flux Capacitor milkshake. They had a couple of themed burgers, I believe. The information's starting to get a little fuzzy now, but I do remember frequently going to Mel's to have all of that stuff. But you know what? It's enough to tell you, but why don't I just show you? So here you go. Here's a highlight reel from FanFest from 2025. So we're here at FanFest Nights. We just descended into Hill Valley. We came on the tram. We saw a really cool video of Doc on there too. And as you can see, the line of state sign is right here. There's some cool photo ops. This is our first one. The gates are over here, and we're just about to enter the city, and we'll show you what happens. Is this Hill Valley? What year are we in? I can't tell, but I don't think we're in 2025 anymore. Marty, are you okay? Are you just stunned? You short-circuiting a little bit? Is that George McFly?
I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna like follow. How do you know George? Yeah, and then there's like the photo ops, there's like amazing photo ops there. That's great.
A couple clubs together, you know?
And that
you don't look like you're from around here.
No, that's his actual
I
car.
live in the town over, just visiting.
Oh.
Hi, friends.
Hi, Lorraine.
Hi.
Underwear, purple.
That's Calvin Klein.
I know, I see it on the window. Should I go talk to him?
Yeah, talk to him.
Okay, I'm nervous. Hi.
I think so.
No, he's from the planet.
He said he was gonna fry my brain if I don't ask Lorraine to the dance.
Let's keep some of this brain melting stuff to ourselves. Okay, all you need is a little self-confidence. Right? If you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything.
Don't do it. Don't do it. And there are 88 grams in this pellet of plutonium. So you've done the math. So how much money are we talking about?
You ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
No.
Go ahead, mathematician.
Okay.
Hold on, I have to
Pull out your calculator.
pull out my
88
Your
grams
pocket calculator.
times $30 for a gram of plutonium in 1955.
Okay.
$640.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Not too bad. I just gave a $50 bill to a local flatfoot the other day, telling him it's a weather experiment. So, $2,600. My family's loaded.
You can do this.
You can do it. Have the confidence.
Know any dance moves?
I don't know any good names.
Macarena? What is that? A nut?
Macadamia.
Macadamian.
Oh, I do a macadamia.
Oh, there's Lorraine.
Just give it just a little more self-confidence. That's all you need.
If you set your mind to it, you can accomplish anything.
Yeah, you've heard good advice.
Good advice.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Oh, no. Whoa. Whoa. Knockout. Yeah. Oh, wow. What did you find? Oh, no.
He stole his wallet.
Oh.
He stole his wallet.
progress as of late. So we're working on it with our friend, and we've got this back deck now built out. So the engine cover was removed. It's now this back deck mount here that's going to take the plutonium reactor, the vents, and all of the other parts that we have. So some of which we have, some of which we still have to accumulate. So that's one part, and I'll take you in the car for a second and I'll show you what's in there. So just to show a few highlights of what we've done here. So the first thing is all of this tubing. So you can see along the sides there's some rubber tubing. So there is a thicker one and a thinner one. And we use some wiring diagrams and stuff to be able to do all the placement here. So that's one main thing that's in here. And I'll show you what's in the back in a second. And there's just a few more updates inside of the car like I was saying before. So this is called the high voltage regulator. So it's actually on this panel here. So this is now placed with some screws on there. And we've got this little box here, and these are gonna all contain wires, which you still have to do. So as you can see, it's kind of placed here right now. We've also sealed the inside of the DeLorean, so it's perfectly sealed so that rain won't get in there. And there's a new panel back there, so there's still a whole lot of work to do, but we did make some good progress this weekend, and it's looking really good. So I should mention that our inspiration for the car is actually the A-car DeLorean that Andrew saw coming off of Doc Brown's truck, so the original one from the movie. And fun fact, he actually worked on the restoration team to go ahead and restore this beautiful car. So I think it was in about 2016 is when it ended up in the Petersen Museum in LA. The documentary came out around that time. It's called Out of Time, Saving the DeLorean Time Machine. I will link it in the description below. But yeah, it was left on the Universal lot for a really long time. Doc Brown used to drive it around. Some parts were stolen and whatnot. So this amazing team came and restored it to its glory. And now you can go see it in the Petersen Museum whenever you want to. Okay, so we've done a few more updates on the car here. So the back is starting to get populated a little bit. So we have a Janitrol heater here. This is a 9-pin terminal. We've got some connectors from some of the hoses that we're gonna do. And then over there is a zero can with a heatsink on the top of it. So the back deck is looking a lot better now, and we're gonna keep working on it and get more done later. So it's Saturday, June 19th, and we've been working on the car since about January, doing a lot of the stuff on the exterior and interior. So here's the update for today. So we got a lot done. So this whole pontoon is all done here. So we got the red capacitors with the wiring, with the elbows here. We've got these that are called the hockey pucks usually. They're all put on here and formatted the way that they need to be. This is the cooling vent that's right here, so that was all fastened on today. So we just go to the other side of the car, and then all that on the back we've been doing. This was also put on today. Just a little terminal there to run some wires and stuff. Another terminal here, and then these are just some mufflers that are from Amazon with a little stand here, and then the blue capacitors here. So still a bunch to do here, green tubes and different stuff, whatnot, but we're moving right along and lots of progress today. So it might seem easy now because we were able to buy so many of these parts from really awesome members of the community on their websites, so I will drop those in the descriptions and in our list of all the parts and whatnot, but these parts were actually pretty hard to come by for a long time. So a lot of what the team did was basically just go to this place called Apex, which is a military surplus store somewhere in LA. I'm not sure the exact location, but they just grabbed a bunch of stuff that looked good. So a lot of it ended up being World War II parts, helicopter parts, things like that. So it's long since been picked over. A lot of this stuff is just not available anymore. So a lot of these things are replicas, but to me they look pretty darn good. So here we are, it's June 26th. It's been a few weeks since an update, but we've been doing a lot of wiring, a lot of attaching stuff on the car, so I'll show you what's going on here. So there's a bunch of wires that we just put into the Janitrol and along this terminal here. So that was a lot of counting and cutting and crimping, but it's all done and tied up nicely and stuff. There's a lot of wires on the car. If you want to come around here and show you some of the other stuff. So here's another terminal that was blank before. All the wires are nicely cut and everything run through here. We've got this green tube mount all fixed on here. Tubes are getting painted, but they're going to be on soon. And then on our lovely blue canisters, we've got some nice coiled orange wire, and the capacitors are all done too. So that's really cool, and I'll show you what's inside in just a second. And we've been doing some more wiring work in the car, so you'll probably notice from the other updates that there's a lot more wire here now, so we have to count every strand and make sure that the color alignment's looking good, zip tie them and stuff. There's a whole bunch that's going to be affixed under the car here. So that's all getting done. We're almost done with all that. And then this is actually really cool. This is the Torn blower right here. So that's been attached to the back wall. We've got this here that's going to have more wiring out of it. And these are the two ice cube relays. So this is all fixed on, and pretty soon it's going to be attached to the back of the car, and we're really looking forward to that. These are called Zero Cans. We just got these this week. They are actually drink cup holders for a sofa, which is pretty cool, but you never know where you're going to find a part that looks the part, so there you go. And then we've got in this terminal, there's a couple of wires here. These are actually live wires that are going to be for speakers and electronics and whatnot, so that's just a little bit more on the back of the car. Hi, it's Sunday, June 29th, and we got a few more updates. So there's some big stuff going on the inside, which is really cool. This is the back bulkhead plate, and we've now mounted, these are called the gold heat sinks. So they're right there, and this is the status indicator display, so it's nice and shiny and lighty, so it's all mounted back here. We got a little bit more at the back to show you. And here we are on the back, so we've also mounted this medical heat sink that's right here. So that's great, it's right beside this little latch that's going to open the engine cover. And this is called the Robinson shock mount. It's got little springs on it and whatnot, so it just kind of goes hand in hand. So it is coming together. We've got some more research to do, but lots of stuff going on today. So it is July 17th, and I'm sitting on the interior of the car here. So I'd say we're about probably 95% done back here. So aside from the flux capacitor, and then there's a little bailout bottle that goes behind the seat here, mostly everything is done. So I'll just give a little overview of everything back here. Okay, so here's the status indicator display, so otherwise known as the Christmas tree light, so that will light up when the car is turned on. We have some heat sinks here, space for a flux capacitor. We just attached this right now the last time that we had a session, so there's the torn blower, just kind of a little blower motor, and then we've got the hoses that come out of there. There's some ice cube relays at the top here, and then this is a cable box where lots of wires are going to come out of. We still have to do that part too. And then all the way over there, it's hard to see, but that's the VSR, which I've showed before. So yeah, the back is really coming together now. So we're at the end of July now, and we just got this new flux capacitor board in, so this is just a little demo of it. So this is from a company called Feeds. I will drop the link in the description, but as you can see, it's fluxing really nicely here. It does have an SD card in there, and Andrew has done some custom sound effects. He did a great job on that. And there's also another mode on it, so we'll show you a time travel demo in just a sec. So you can see we've got about 95% of the back end done in the car here, and the interior, and the flux capacitor is fluxing. There is a great volume control on that, so it can go up and down as needed for shows, but we'll just show you the time travel right now. It's just a little button that you press, and it's going to go through its sequence right now. A little bit of a ramp up here. Bright lights. And we are out of here. And just one more time for good measure. So this is our Eagle Moss model, and Andrew and I built this years ago now. It took about 3 years. It was subscription, so you get a little piece every week, and there'd be all kinds of cool stuff in there. So you can see there's things like the green tubes, the zero cans here, canisters. So some of the stuff we still have to do on the real car, like the reactor here, crossover tube, all kinds of wires and stuff. This is really super tiny, so it took a long time to get that all right. And then just lift up the door here. Just going to open up the door real quick just to show a little bit inside. So there's the passenger seat. See, there's a mini drive switch and time circuits, plutonium chamber, and buried all the way in the back there is the flux capacitor. It's a little hard to see, but yeah, this is basically one of the most detailed models of a time machine that you can get. It really helped us learn all the parts, and we're just building a bigger one now. It's a 1-to-1 scale. So here's our Back to the Future collection. So this is our signed poster. So we do have Bob Gale thanking Andrew for being part of the DeLorean restoration. That's pretty awesome. We've got Tom Wilson, who's Biff. We've got the ever sacred Robert Zemeckis signature. That's really hard to get. We've got Leah Thompson, Michael J. Fox right in the flames there, and Christopher Lloyd. So really cool. Probably get more signatures as we go on. And then here's our Funkos. I made this Marty diorama of his room a little while ago, so pretty detailed there. Marty figurine, of course. That's us at the clock tower. A little rock from Line of States, because you gotta have a souvenir. It's our Chapelo Love wedding picture, because why not on your wedding day? Back to the Future fans. Got some figurines down here. This one's signed by our good friend Jeffrey Wiseman. He is amazing. And also the little pizza foil is also signed by him. Almanac, you gotta have that. Cafe 80's menu. All kinds of good stuff over here. And we have time machine parts all over our house right now, but this is a turbine that's actually going to be part of the plutonium reactor, so it's just kind of waiting here to be weathered. And then of course, if you're going to have a reactor, you got to have your plutonium. One pellet, one strip, am I right? So, let's see. So the lid just comes off like that, and then it's just this canister, and it's got the stick of plutonium in there ready to go. And Time Machine wouldn't be complete without some really cool Back to the Future props. So we do have the hoverboard here. It's going to travel around with us. You got to have your Marty 2015 lenticular hat. Great for trying on, great for photos. Looks real cool. Almanac, of course. Everybody knows this book. Don't burn it though. Just going to keep that in the car. And then we have this Marty McFly wallet too. That came with some interesting props. So we do have his license. And then there's some other documents in there that can be pulled out. I know that there's a clock tower flyer and library card and all kinds of interesting things, so when you have a time machine, you gotta have cool props in there. So this is less about time machines, but more just fun Back to the Future facts. So this is the Hill Valley Cookbook. I really love it. I've actually been doing a cooking series where I've been making some of these dishes from the cookbook. I'll link it to the bottom of this video so you can see that. But I wanted to point out this particular dish, this Stock Brown's chicken pot pie. It actually showed up at FanFest, so we did actually have a version of that. It shows you how to make it here, so that's really cool. It's got a really great picture, but there's really all kinds of recipes in here for all different kinds of occasions across different timelines. Oh, there's sort of like hoverboard Pop-Tarts kind of looks like. So this is really cool. Highly recommend Back to the Future food. So it is the beginning of August, and we just got a hose delivery in. So believe it or not, hoses are kind of hard to come by, so you did have to get a custom order for that. But this is called the Janitrol hose, so it just has a nice fitting on the end there, and it's going to go into this hole right here, and the other side is going to go in that secondary hole in the Janitrol heater. So I would have to bend it, so I will show it when it's all connected and installed there. And then we got 4 of these ones. This is called a reactor hose, so this is the one that sits kind of on the base of the reactor, so it's going to go around the sides. So there is 4 of them, so I'll show a picture for comparison, but they do wrap around here. So yeah, like I said, XRP was the company that made these. They look really great, and we're excited to install them when the time comes. So in addition, these are some patches that I just finished. They are Back to the Future Ghostbuster matchup, and they are available on my Etsy store, so that's going to be linked in the description too. But this is the part 1, so we got the DeLorean cover, the classic Nike shoes, of course, the time machine plate there. Part 2 has the lenticular hat, hoverboard, we got the 2015 jacket, and obviously our half pepperoni, half pepper pizza. And then finally part 3, got the nice cowboy hat, we got the cowboy boots, ELB signature, and the frisbee pie. So all 3 of these are available on my Etsy store right now. So we just got this in the mail today. So this is a Bulova clock, so it is a replica, and it has the little alarm bells on it. So this is what Doc uses for Marty, so he knows when to hit the gas to go back to the future. And for our car, it's just going to sit right here between the speedometer and the radio, just nice and snug there, and it's a nice little addition. So it's August 19th now, and we have been doing a lot of work on the electronics for the DeLorean lately. So there is a battery that's in the front. It's in the trunk of the DeLorean, which is in the front there. And all of the stuff is powered by that now. So we've got our overhead array, we've got our time circuits, which I will turn on right now. There we go, so they're all powered up. There's a plutonium chamber going. And we've got the Flux capacitor, which is back here now. So before I just showed it, it didn't have any assembly on it. We had to put in all new relays and stuff, get that all set up, and I'll show you the time travel sequence in 1 second. Another really cool feature we just installed too was a Bluetooth speaker that we have wired up. So it's actually hiding back here near the engine of the DeLorean, so it's just hiding over there. It is waterproof and stuff, so it's pretty cool. And we can have it play sound effects sometimes, kind of like this. That's the car kind of starting up there, which is fun. Or we can have it play music like this, or shows and stuff like that. So that's a pretty cool addition. So I made a little more progress on the time machine as of late. So we did some wiring, we did new speakers and stuff like that, so that's all happened. But the big thing here is this bar that's right at the bottom here. So it's a little bit off center of the door, but this is on the DeLorean Time Machine. We've got our purple clamps here and it is netting. So this is very difficult to get on here. It took 2 people to do it, but it's on there and secure. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. And these are the Flux boxes. So these are a really important part of the car, and it's now attached on here. So we had to actually reach all the way back there and screw it on, bolt it on so it's nice and tight so it doesn't go anywhere. There's going to be plugs that are going to go in here, Mold Richardson plugs, and it's going to be all connected with wiring and whatnot. So there's a whole bunch more of these to get on here, but this is just the first one, and we're really proud of the progress so far. So we've actually been working really hard on inventing something really cool specifically for our car. So we did this sound module that actually is for the doors. So when I go ahead and open the door, you will hear a random sound effect play. And this is all Arduino and with speakers and all kinds of programming and working on a lot of tweaks, but we finally perfected it, so here we go. So the other unique feature about our door sound module is it does a closing sound effect as well. So I'll just demonstrate that for you right now. So it's also going to be a random sound effect. So here we go. And yeah, it does come out of the speaker that's mounted in here. We've got the Flux capacitor fluxing, so it's really, really cool. We're really excited about it. As of the filming of this video, we're still working on a few little details about it, but we'll probably have it available soon, and I'll drop the description link when we have it. And you'll notice there's a little something missing on the top of our car here, and this is totally on purpose. The T-panel has been removed for right now. We are getting it, the Flux boxes put on here, so they're going to be bolted, painted. We've already put a couple on the side, so that's kind of the next phase. We're going to put more along the outside, so stay tuned for more. So it's September 25, and there's been a lot of things going on with the car this week. So first of all, these beautiful Pacific Flex hoses came in. We had to get them specially made, so thank you very much. I'll put the link in there in the bio. They go onto the vents, which we're going to have painted and put on here pretty soon. This also got attached. This is the very important reactor. So this was a lot of work getting all this together, but it looks great. Put the crossover tube on there as well. And then this is the turbine on the top, so it's going to rest up here. Have to do a little weathering, put some screws in there, but that's going to happen really soon too. And this is probably one of my favorite parts, is this beautiful 360 ice blue lighting that we got. So I know that there's a lot of discussion about whether it's white, whether it's blue. We chose to go with ice blue, so we have those on there too. So these are essentially going to go on the Flux band so that the car will be ready for that part. So this is just to show the color a little bit better on the 360 ice blue lighting. We've got the lights off here, but you can see how it really pops. It's really beautiful. Can't wait to put it on. So I just wanted to show off our newly painted Flux boxes. So there is debate, of course, about what the color of these actually are. They did come a little bit darker, but after reviewing a whole bunch of time machines, we decided on this lighter blue, which we went ahead and got done. And then it is kind of tricky to get those on and off, but we managed to finally put it back on. We've got a few more to do. So Flux boxes finally on here. So last week we showed you the reactor, so it's on here now, and now we've actually got some special lighting rigged up. So there's a little band that's just in here. It is flickering yellow and white right now. That is on purpose. We did some programming with Arduino. We've got custom sound effects, we've got really cool lighting, so it does a whole startup sequence and everything. We may eventually offer this as a kit, so I'll drop that in the description below if we do that. But right now, let's see how it starts up. Okay, so that was a nice demo of the beginning startup sequence, pretty cool. So the next thing is going to be a hubcap that's going to go right here. It's going to diffuse the light nicely, that nice yellow and white twinkling there. And then we have a turbine that's going to go on the top of everything. That's got to get weathered. We'll show you that in a few minutes. But for now, let's just watch the shutdown sound right here. So we're always getting time machine parts in the mail, and today we got this Dodge Polara 1967 hubcap. So this is what's used for the reactor. So essentially it's just going to get bent a little bit along the sides, and then it's going to fit nice and snugly right here. And then of course, I'm going to rotate it just a little bit, and then you can see that the light is kind of coming through there. It looks really, really cool, and we'll show you what it looks like with the reactor on. So here it is with the hubcap on. Have a look. we've done an update on the car here, but there has actually been a lot of progress. So we're at November 4th at this point. We did have a 2-week vacation to do a big Back to the Future event in LA. Met Crispin Glover, we did the Enchantment Under the Sea party. We did all kinds of cool locations, saw Bob Gale, all kinds of cool stuff. So I'll show some B-roll in a few minutes, but back to the car. And we're also going to see Back to the Future tonight is one other thing. So we're gonna go see an IMAX, which is cool. So here is the Pacific Flux hoses. So we actually got these a little while back. I did a video about that. It's included in here if you remember. We put these little tapes on it to be screen accurate, that's one thing. And then of course, the big piece de resistance is the vents. They really changed the profile of the car. They look really, really cool when we're driving. So they're not quite painted yet, but they are fitted on here. It took a little while to get them adjusted to the reactor and stuff. But yeah, looks really good, and we've got more work to do, but we are getting close to finishing, so here it is.
Sorry.
Oh yeah. How about a ride, mister?
You're a sight for sore eyes.
Marty, you haven't come down to see me in a week.
Yeah, I haven't.
Are you okay? Is everything all right?
Yeah. Everything's great.
Sure. Don't do it, Andrew.
Then you gotta come down and watch me.
Clearly for the movie.
I'll put an edit in here.
They had some padding down there, because if you actually jump straight down, you jump right onto stairs. Made my buddy Tony P do this back in the day, dude.
You been drinking, sir?
I don't know what liquor tastes like. I'm too young to drink. It's not my homework, because I'm not at home.
Okay, come on, I think we're safe.
Okay. All right. Listen, it's not my fault this time. The doc said else clock's back. 25 minutes back.
Doc, am I to understand you're still hanging around with Dr. Emmett Brown McFly?
Yeah.
Tardy slip for you, Miss Parker. And tardy slip for you, McFly. I believe that makes 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Now let me give you a little nickel's worth of free advice, young man. The so-called Dr. Brown is dangerous. He's a real nutcase. You hang around with him, you're going to end up in real trouble.
Oh, yes, sir.
McFly's in it. Oh, yes, sir.
You got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker. You know, you remind me of your father when he went here, too. He was a slacker, too. Touch his nose. Now, Mr. Strickland.
Can I go now, Mr. Strickland?
I noticed your band is on the roster for the dance auditions. Why even bother, McFly? You don't have a chance. No McFly has ever amounted to anything in the history of Hill Valley.
Yeah,
Kiss him! Kiss him! Well done! Yeah. Look at all this. You had all the cameras
do the line.
Yeah. Well, history's gonna change.
Yeah!
History's gonna change, baby!
Good
It's
job.
again been a little while since we've done a time machine update, but here we are. We've actually met Crispin Glover again. I'll show a picture right here because that's what we've done in the last update. But so here's the first thing that we did that I want to cover. So this is the wiring that goes from the Flux boxes. It's going to run all the way along the car, all the way to the back. So this is all meticulously copied from the A car. So we actually took a video of it when we went to the Petersen and went ahead and replicated that. So that's this side. It's also on the other side as well, but I'm going to take you to the back right now. So here we are at the back of the car, December 17th right now. Here are the hoses that we actually just put on. This was the most recent thing. So these are actually really hard to acquire, but they're just placed here on the vents. There's these two, and there's actually these two that are along here. So we have to be very careful with our placement on that. And then since you last saw the car, we had the reactor kind of set up, but it's now been fully set up, so it's all together now. It just needs a little bit of painting. We've got to work on the sound effects for that and get this whole thing going so we can drop plutonium in there. And then back here we've got the tiger tails now here. All of these tubes are all set, so they've been connected. These ones back here. So it's really been a lot of wiring, kind of decorative stuff, kind of attaching a lot of hoses and things. But as you can see, the back of the car is almost completed now. So as I mentioned before, we did lose Adam during the building of our time machine, but I just want to talk a little bit about what our friendship to Adam meant. You know, a little bit of stories of how long we've known him and kind of his connection to the car here. So Andrew met him first. They connected on YouTube. I believe in 2012 was his first DeLorean ride. So he was touring with his band in Seattle, and Andrew offered to take him around in a DeLorean. So they did that. So I can also drop the link to that video in the description too. And there was many other videos that came to follow after that because we connected over our love of Back to the Future, Disney, 80s stuff in general. I eventually met him in 2018 when Andrew introduced me. He wasn't making videos at the time, he was taking a little break, but he was very kind, and I just remember feeling instantly just comfortable and just, you know, a total kindred spirit in Adam. So I went to go see the A car, the Petersen. I remember that like it was yesterday. And then if you fast forward a few more years, because we had the pandemic and all that, so we didn't see each other as much. But then he came to visit us at the Space Needle, where we lived in Seattle, so we went and did that. And then we were kind of on the cusp of having just gotten married, thinking about moving somewhere. He was in Orlando at the time. We were looking for more sun and for theme parks because we love them. And he was convincing us, not so subtly, to try to move to Orlando. So we actually did take that seriously because it was on the table, and we did move to Orlando in August of 2022. And at that point, we basically would run into Adam at the parks. We would do kind of a yearly Back to the Future tradition with him. So in that week of October 20 to like 27, we'd almost always see him for either a screening of Back to the Future or something related to it. And the DeLorean was included in that. And you know, like I was mentioning earlier, we got to do Fan Fest with him, and we also got to do the 40th anniversary with him, which was really epic. Probably one of the best celebrations of Back to the Future we've ever seen. We all agreed on that. And the last time we saw him was November 5th, actually, 2025. So just a casual night. We went to Disney Springs, House of Blues for dinner, and we'd been working on the car, and he'd been traveling a lot. So it was finally his time to see the progress that we made. So I do have a couple of screenshots to share of him just kind of checking it out. I was just so delighted to see his reaction to the car that I just couldn't help myself. And I'm really glad that I did. So unfortunately, this did turn out to be the last time that we saw him. And I remember us joking around about like, haha, what's the 50th anniversary of Back to the Future going to be like? I bet we're all going to be, you know, in scooters or something, you know, just kind of joking around. But he was an awesome friend. We miss him so much. And we dedicate our progress of the time machine and our completion of it to our friend Adam the Woo. So I'll just show a little highlight reel of some of our videos together in the time machine and all the fun that we had, and I hope that you enjoy it.
Let's dance in style, let's dance for a while. Heaven can wait, we're only watching the skies. Hoping for the best, but expecting the worst. Are you gonna drop the bomb or not? Let us die young or let us live forever. We don't have the power, but we never say never. Sitting in a sandpit, life is a short trip. The music's for the sad man. Can you imagine when this race is won? Turn our golden faces into the sun. Praising our leaders, we're getting in tune. The music's played by the madman. Forever young, I want to be forever young. Do you really want to live forever? Forever, forever, forever young. I want to be forever young. Do you really want to live forever? Forever young.
So it's January 25, 2026, and we are back for a new update. So we did skip a few weeks of updates because we were just doing a lot of wiring and reconfiguring and changing things around, and we had holidays and whatnot, but we're back. We're working on the car again. I just want to point out one of these new features that we've just got working. So this took a little bit of doing, but we do have the door lights are working on our external battery. And the reason that we decided to do this is so that if we have to do a convention or something like that, they can work independently and we don't have to have the car battery on. So as you can see, they're nice and lit up here, and they do work on an external switch. And this is one of our favorite parts. So this has actually taken a while to put all together, but now it's finally almost in its stage of completion. So this is our beautiful reactor. As you can see, it's pulsating a little bit, little yellow, little white. We've got our turbine up here. It's nice and weathered, and we've finally got a magnetic switch to use the lid for. So I'm just gonna do a little demo, and you're gonna hear some sound effects and cool stuff. So this is what it would be like if you were to turn it and do a shutdown sequence. Just remove the lid here. You can see the colors are changing really nicely. And I'm just gonna put it in and show you the startup sequence too. And here we go. This one takes a little longer, but it's cool. So we did create a unique sound effect loop for this. It's working off of Arduino. We've got a nice light bar in there. We can change out the sound effects at any time, but we're really happy with how this turned out. So it's February 19th and we're back for a DeLorean update 2026, by the way, because we've been at the car for a little while, but we've got a lot of great things to show here today. So the first thing and the show-stopping thing is these beautiful vents that we just got painted by a very talented painter called Arena Schmidt. I'm going to drop all of her information in the comments and in the description. So if you do need vent painting, if you're a DeLorean owner or any kind of painting, feel free to contact her. So that's really beautiful what she did there, and I'll show it in detail in a second. And then she's also hit this medical heatsink here with a little bit of gold. It was kind of more of a silver before, just to give it that little extra flair and detail. So let's go and have a look at the vents a little more closely. So I just want to show off some of the beautiful colors here. So we've got this nice streak here, a little bit of maybe oil or just kind of scorching from when you travel through time, of course. It's very taxing on the vents. And then we've got some beautiful blues here and some pinks and whatnot. Nice blending of black, so that was a lot of detail work. It's very, very beautiful how it turned out. And I just want to point out that I'm wearing a Back to the Future musical hoodie here because we've finally seen it after 7 years. We really enjoyed it, so if you haven't seen it yet, highly recommend. And then the other great thing is that we're going to be doing the Flux vans actually, so the parts obviously that goes from the Flux boxes all the way down the car. Nice neon blue, so we're going to work on that with some fellow Time Machine people this weekend, and that should be a really fun update, so keep you posted. So I just wanted to pause here and talk about some life stuff that was going on in February 2026 around the time we were building the car. So as I mentioned, we did go see the Back to the Future musical. It had been 7 years since it opened, and it just took us a really long time to go see it, but we did see it in Fort Lauderdale with our really good friend Kevin. So here's some pictures of that, and he did also take us to Flanagan's, which is an awesome South Florida place, restaurant that has really great ribs, great chicken wings, so we had a really great time seeing that, and we saw it on Valentine's Day of all days, so believe it or not, it was a great time. Also in February, we got to hang out with our good friend Jeffrey Wiseman and his wife Kimball. They just happened to be in town for a convention, and so we ended up going to Epic Universe together. So we did some really fun things, tried out some foods. Obviously, we had to get the Pizza Moon, the ube pizza. That was great. We got to do Ministry of Magic, which Andrew and I hadn't done before. Kimball got to get a custom-made wand from Cosme, which is amazing. We did that at the end of the night. We had our butterbeer crepe and, of course, watched all the people in the France Harry Potter area, which is always amazing. Definitely recommend going to do that. And, of course, we got to catch up with all of our buddies, the Bride of Frankenstein, the Invisible Man, and it was really fun to see Jeffrey and Kimball interacting with them because they are, of course, actors. So a really fun time with some Back to the Future friends. So fast forward to March 2026, so we actually did have our first little gig with the Hill Valley Time Machine, even though it wasn't completely finished yet. But we met some cool friends at actually the closing of Muppet Vision in June 2025. The one girl, Allie, was dressed as Miss Piggy, so naturally I went up and talked to her and complimented her costume, and turned out that her husband, Rob, was playing the piano at the event, and they're both huge Muppet fans, but also huge Back to the Future fans. So Allie told us then that she was going to be booking us for Rob's birthday, and sure enough, she did. So we basically drove up to their place in Celebration, surprised Rob. He was totally shocked by the whole thing. And then their whole family came and did some nice photos with the car and stuff. So that was really fun, really cool. And they all really loved it. And that was one of our very earliest gigs with the Hill Valley Time Machine. And then one of the coolest things that's ever happened is we do partner with the Orlando Ghostbusters on a whole bunch of things. We actually have the suits and the proton packs and all that fun stuff. And we do conventions with them from time to time. We've obviously had to pause doing a lot of that because of building the car, but we actually did get to do Yuri's Night this year, which for anyone that doesn't know what that is, it's a big charity event that occurs at NASA, and it's after hours. So they have a space DJ. They will often have keynote speakers like astronauts and authors and things having to do with all the good stuff that they're doing at NASA. The 501st usually comes, the Ghostbusters come, and this year Andrew and I got to actually bring our time machine that again was not completed, but still completed enough to put under the rocket. So I'll show some pictures of that. So this is us with our Ecto 1B friends and Ghostbusters, and also our time machine under a rocket. So pretty great event to be a part of. And I should also mention that we got to spend some more time with Back to the Future friends in mid-April. So that was for the Celebration Car Show, which we of course love going to every year. It's in, of course, Celebration, which seems to be coming up a lot. But we got to hang out with our friends Linda and Eric, Terry and Oliver, who have a wonderful time machine, who have always been a big inspiration to us. So here's some pictures of all those guys. Our friends Nate and Steven with the Jurassic Park Jeep. Our friend Elliot, who has a really cool Ghostbusters Afterlife car that also showcases it there. And of course, our good friend Robbie Retro, who also loves Back to the Future. We did meet him at that 40th anniversary event, who introduced us to other YouTubers like Drew in the Moment, Explore and Ryan. We already knew Greg's Game Room from meeting with Adam, and we all got to kind of hang out and sit on Adam the Woo's bench for a little while and get some content over there, so that was also a really great day. And even though we didn't have our time machine there, it was a really great show to attend, and maybe one day we'll have the Hill Valley Time Machine over there, who knows. Hello, we're here on May 5th, 2026, and we're back for a time machine update. It's been a couple months since we've had a solid update. There's just been a lot going on with life and whatnot. We've had some family visiting, friends and everything, but we're back to the time machining, so we have gotten a few things done that I just want to update you all about. So let's start inside the car here. So first things first is this bulkhead was completely replaced by us a couple of weeks ago. Reason being is that it just wasn't fitting quite right, so we had to do a full aluminum upgrade. So this material is a lot better actually, and it came all pre-drilled. So everything was perfectly aligned. So really what we did that day was take everything off and put it all back on properly, and now it's fitting in there beautifully, so we love that. And then if you just want to come to the back of the car, kind of going all around everywhere. So the reactor here, we had some really great lights in them. They weren't just quite bright enough, so we did add an extra lighting rig in there, and now it works really well for nighttime lighting, and daytime lighting it works a little bit better too, so that's really great. It's looking really awesome. And then under here, just in all the different parts of the car. So when we first got our flux bands bent a few months ago, we noticed that this box was not aligned properly. So what actually had to happen was we had to adjust our exhaust on the bottom of the car and then put these new brackets on the flux boxes so they actually tuck in nicely now. So those are both aligned properly. So we're almost ready to receive our flux bands that we got a few months ago. And we put in this rig here. So it's got a rubber hose and then some wiring and wire ties and clamps. So that was all done in one session too. So hopefully this whole bottom is ready and flux bands very soon. And then let's go over here to this table. So this is what we did today. So our wonderfully talented painter Arena came and she just did some touch-ups for us. So, oh, we got the flux capacitors fluxing here. So we just had some minor paint chips from, like I was talking about, the bulkhead was not properly aligned. So it was kind of butting up against the flux capacitor. So she fixed it all. It's a nice flat gray paint. And that is painted beautifully now. So we're ready to reinstall that. We have some changes to do to the actual flux itself, but it's working really nicely, and to be continued on that one. This was a hose that we've had for a really long time. We couldn't quite get that red right, but this is a nice anodized red. It's very metallic looking, and Arena was able to paint match that, which is beautiful. We love it. So now it's perfect. It just needs a magnet and it's going to go onto the back of the car. So we will do that really soon. And then this here also same problem, as we couldn't get the color quite right, so now she's finally color matched it. It's all done, ready to go on the car, just needs a magnet. And then the last little bit here is just this reactor lid. So again, it was like a little bit chipped, needed a clear coat, and this little black dot, Arena was able to put that back on there. And then one of our favorite parts is probably this reactor symbol here. She used a really tiny toothpick and some nail polish actually to get this beautiful reactor symbol on there. So now when anyone turns it, it's always going to be aligned properly, so the reactor functionality is going to work really nicely. So that's a lot of great stuff that we got done. And I just wanted to give a little shout out to our friend Kira Buckland, who we saw this past weekend. Kira is a voice actress and a fellow DeLorean owner. So we had a really great time with her at a convention. Played around with the time machine, drove around, saw some stuff on City Walk. So I'll show a little bit of footage of that. But yeah, we're really excited about all the updates, and we look forward to next week and more. So coming to the back of the car, here's another thing that we just got done. So this is the brake lines. And trust me when I tell you, we have wanted to get these done for a really long time, but they're finally affixed on here. So they had to be screwed into the green tubes. And then we had some yellow tape that went on in them too. And then they had to align perfectly into that zero can at the back and then into the back bulkhead. So that was all done in our last session. And we're excited to get some little stickers to kind of finalize them, and then I think the back is mostly done at that point. So here we are, it's July 1st, and it's been a little while since we've done an update on the car. We did have a few weeks vacation off there. It was Back to the Future related again. We did a Bold to the Future event where we competed for trophies. It was a lot of Back to the Future fans. It was a tournament. Claudia Wells was there, and then we also had a car show in the parking lot and all hung out, and it was a lot of fun. We did other filming location stuff too, so that was a few weeks of fun there, but also some work on the car that's been done lately. So we're gonna check out down here. So these brake lines we had completed, I think, just on our last update. And then these stickers were a real challenge, trying to get the right fonts. Nobody really custom makes these unless it's really expensive, so our friend Arena helped us out with those. So these brake lines are now completed, and that was a big part of the car. And then if you look back here, this hose had to be custom made by Lukey's Hardware in Burbank, so thanks so much for that. Arena helped us with paint matching this color. It's a little bit of chrome and some anodized red. And then this is actually a magnet right here, so it's easily removable. So when we want to do Mr. Fusion, we don't have to unscrew it or anything, so just a nice, really smart solution. And that's all it's back here in the back of the car. So we did have some long-term projects that we also finalized on June 30th, so it was a big time machine day for us yesterday. So first of all, these tires here, these were about 10 years old, and we had to get a tire swap, and it had to be something that was smooth enough that we could get our Eagle GT lettering on there, which we don't have on there yet. But we brought this to our friends at DMC Orlando, and they were kind enough to do the install for us all yesterday. So that's really awesome. So now we're ready for that lettering. And then, of course, this really big update, which is a huge update. We're really proud of it. These are our Flux bands that are finally on the car. So they're all diffused. They've got the mesh on them, and they're all bent, ready to light up. So the process was basically getting the pipes, and then we had a whole bunch of time machine owners that were helping us do it. So special thanks to Peter and Brett of Time Cobblers, who helped us to bend these, and a whole bunch of other owners that assisted as well. And then we also got the laser cuts done by them, as well as the diffuser, which is underneath there to diffuse the light. And we had to make a decision about how the Flux bands were going to light up. So they are COB lights, they are ice blue, and they are white. So there's two different strips of lights in there. Andrew and I spent a lot of time rigging them in there, testing them, making sure that they're working. And now, without further ado, I'll show you how these operate. So the Flux bands actually have a neat way of turning on. So they are wired into our TFC drive here. So there's a switch that says Christmas tree over on the side here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and flick it on, and you can see how they light up. So there you go, you can see the layers of the white and the blue there. It looks really pretty, it's really blended. And I can honestly tell you it looks even better at night, but we're really happy with the color. So here we are on July 7th, and we are Hill Valley Time Machine, and here are some updates that we've just been getting up to lately. So we actually had a really productive weekend in terms of the car, because we actually have a Toy Con coming up this Saturday and Sunday, July 11th and 12th, Tampa Toy Con. So it's kind of our first big show, so we really had to get moving on some of our stuff. But we did put in some extra speakers on the side here to really amp up the sound, because we've been noticing that with them just being on the driver's side, we need a little extra sound on that side. So now we've got the 360 sound going on. And then we also upgraded to these really nice, more accurate Pacific Flex type of poses. So those got put on Sunday on our update day. But the coolest feature by far is the Reactor sound that we kind of just invented on the weekend. So let me just show you how it works. So I'm gonna go ahead and open the Reactor here. I've seen that one before, but we're really proud of this one. So then you take your plutonium, and then you go ahead and put it in just like Doc would, kind of rotate it and listen up. So it makes that little sound when it goes in. So we put that all together. It's a really great feature. We're really proud of it. So that's the updates for this week. So we are Hill Valley Time Machine and it's July 17th and we've had some exciting updates. So we actually did Tampa Toy Con last week. We had our friends Eric from Back to the Future IG and Robbie Retro come out with us, work the booth. We got to interview William Winkler, who actually worked on Back to the Future. He was in the Lou's Cafe scene and also the skateboard chase in 1955, so that was a lot of fun. We met all kinds of great people, had a lot of photos in the car. So if you want to check out the full video on that, go to the Wonder Librarian channel and our very new Hill Valley Time Machine channel because we just started it. We're also working on our website. That's kind of happening in the background. Social media is starting to happen a little bit more for us, so all very good. But in terms of the technical stuff on the car, we did have a small issue at the convention. So on Sunday, we started to smell a little bit of a burning smell, and it turned out that it was the plug for our amplifier for our sound effects. So we did lose our sound effects for just a little while. We spent part of this week rejigging it a little bit, so it's now working again, so that's all good. And we have a few more things that we're going to be working on, and then we're actually going to close out this video, which I can't even believe because we started in 2024 filming this video. And those things are, so it's the Eagle GT lettering that's got to go on the tires, so these are new tires. We have to clean these up really nice, and then we're going to put those stickers on there, so that's one thing. Our Mr. Fusion has yet to be finished building, so we do have the Krups coffee maker, the different pieces, so it just has to be painted and set up and whatnot. And then the sound effects are going to be playing from our Arduino kind of kit here, so that has to all get configured. And then sort of one of the final pieces is that 95 miles per hour speedometer. So we have to put the skin under there, which is going to mean going into that binnacle, taking everything out, putting the skin on, and then swapping that out. And then of course some probably minor adjustments, wiring. We have a dryer hose to go on the other side and stuff, but yeah, we're actually rounding the finish line here. So it's been a lot of fun. We've showed it to a lot of people this week. We've been driving out more, doing screenings and going to dinner and having a lot of fun with it. So stay tuned for the next little bit. So here we are, it's July 30th, and believe it or not, we are on our second last update video for the entire time machine. I can't even believe that we got here, but we have. So in our previous video, I was talking about those last three things that we had to get done. One was the 95 mile per hour speedometer, so that's just right here. And believe it or not, that is just really a sticker, a decal that's been put on there. It's really, really nice. So we just had to crack open that binnacle and stick it on there. But now it's completely accurate. Most people don't even know that they don't go up to 88 naturally, so we did have to swap that out. The other cool thing is something that Andrew invented back here, which is a reset button push to do a flux capacitor mode here, time travel mode. So I'm just going to demo that right now. Here we go, just a light push is good. And then we're going right up to 88 here. And that's what happens when you time travel. Isn't that cool? Everyone that we've showed really loves that, so that's awesome. And in terms of a life update, ironically, so we were leaving the shop, and I always drive my car out there so we can go get lunch, and my car got hit a little bit by someone, got totaled. So we had to also replace a car in the last couple weeks, but that's okay because we got a beautiful time machine, a fresh new car to get us from point A to point B. So that's our updates for the second last update. So I can't believe it's finally here, but this is the very last update video on Hill Valley Time Machine. We're very excited that we are basically almost completed everything. So we were talking about the speedometer the last time, so we did that. And then the Eagle GT tires are now in play here. So this essentially meant getting a sticker to put on here, but it meant cleaning the tires very well, and then putting adhesive on the sticker and getting them on there. So it basically looks like we have 40-year-old tires, even though they are brand new tires with just a sticker on them. So that looks fantastic. It really completes the look. And then the second thing is, this is our swappable Mr. Fusion part, so it actually is functional. So it really is just a plate that we've made that makes it really easy to take off the reactor and then just go ahead and slot this on. So I will show you how it works. So you essentially open the latch right here, and then you're just going to go ahead and open it, and it makes all the garbage noises, so you can throw bananas, beer cans in there, whatever you want, and then you're ready to time travel without lightning. And then when you close it, just go ahead and put the latch on, makes that nice click sound. So there you go, Mr. Fusion. And now just a little pop-out story for August 2026. So this is the month that we finally finished the car. So we finally put those finishing touches like Mr. Fusion, the Eagle GT tires, some of those last little flourishes. Thanks again so much to Bruce and to everyone that helped us. I'm going to drop everybody in the credits, of course, at the end of this video. And thank you to the wonderful Patrick Murphy and his daughter Molly Murphy, who did some incredible photos for us in celebration. So that was August 10th, which also happened to be Adam the Woo's birthday. So we do dedicate this progress and the finishing of the time machine to Adam and to Andrew's dad and to everybody that helped us out along the way. My parents, all of our supportive friends, Linda, Kevin, you know, you guys all really kept us encouraged and motivated to complete this project. You saw it in different iterations, and we thank you so much for all of that. And yeah, this is totally unrelated, but still a little bit in the same vein. But we did do NostalgiaCon in mid-August. And for anyone that knows me, my first favorite show was Full House. And we also have friends in town that are friends with John Stamos, which is awesome. And long story short, John's a big Disney fan, so we all just happened to be at Hollywood Studios all together. So it was our friends and John and his wife and his son, and Jodie Sweetin was there. So we all actually got to meet up around the Muppet Coaster, which I can't even believe happened because that was just such a amazing moment. And then we got to hang out with them at the convention. So here's the photo of us at Hollywood Studios, and then one of our group photos at the convention. It was really, really fun. So yeah, not time machine related, but definitely cool, and hopefully we'll have more fun interactions that happen this way in the future. And I should point out that at the making of this video, we have done a Back to the Future screening. Upon finishing the car, we went over to City Walk and did that. That was a lot of fun. We also followed that up with seeing Steve Whitmire do a live performance and commentary of Muppet Treasure Island, which was absolutely amazing. We're going to go to Desertland, as we've been told it said, to do a car show. So we're going to start doing things like that. And apparently Chad Lindbergh from Fast and the Furious will be there. So we'll see how that all goes. We've also got an upcoming thing at Oviedo Mall, September 12th. Going to be with the Orlando Ghostbusters and a whole bunch of other cool vendors. So we hope to see you guys in the future at some of those events. You can follow us, Hill Valley Time Machine, on all social media, basically, and of course on our website, hillvalleytimemachine.com. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this build of our Hill Valley Time Machine here. So we are very happy and very proud to have finished this. It really was a lifelong dream for the two of us. Couldn't have done it without all of our family and friends and everyone that supported us. So they're all in those credits, and a whole bunch of the links and everything that we reference is in that description, including a pretty thorough list of time machine parts. So if you do need any of that information, it is all there. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment. Feel free to ask us if you have any questions about what it's like to build a time machine, or just any question, or just share Back to the Future memories, whatever it is that you'd like. And we will see you around. And Hun, did you have any final words?
I think you summed it up pretty well. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody who helped, supported us, gave advice, sold us parts, provided guidance. We really appreciate it, and we're going to put the time machine to good use. So follow us along on Hill Valley Time Machine. All right, with that, we'll see you in the future, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.